On this episode of Legends with JBL, my interview with Ron Simmons.
To break a barrier, you have to not just be good enough, you have to be better what's on the other side.
Simmons has won the world title!
I had no idea that this was going to be a history-making night.
Vince first told me about the APA. Right. Let me get this right. We're going to drink beer on TV?
Act like protects me. This is a business. Now we don't make some money.
You said it's the greatest idea
I've ever heard. Anything that could happen as a tragedy, it happened to me.
I can't think of anything more heartbreaking than the kid watching that 65 Pontiac turn right and not come back.
It was devastating.
Did you see sports as your way out?
This is the gift that I've been given.
Does it upset you that the race card is still played? It's hard to find enough words to describe this gentleman. He was one of the greatest college football players of all time. A three-time All-American at Florida State University, and 2 of those years, consensus All-American. He was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy as a nose tackle. Legendary Florida State coach Bobby Bowden said he was one of the most impactful players he ever coached. This from a man who also coached Deion Sanders. He would be inducted into the Orange Bowl Hall of Fame and in 2008, the College Football Hall of Fame. His number 50 jersey was retired at Florida State. If the story ended there, this will be worth an interview. We're just getting started. He became the first African-American heavyweight champion in sports entertainment history. He was part of 2 of the greatest tag teams of all time. He had a part in the start of The Rock and of myself, JBL. In 2012, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, where I had the honor of inducting him. Many years ago, he got a standing ovation for his best man speech at my wedding. This is Ron Simmons. Ron, welcome.
Thank you for having me, old partner. Thank you very much.
You know, we're still sitting around. We're drinking coffee now instead of beer.
And
but
glad to be sitting.
How many Hall of Fames are you in?
Well, let's see. Last count, I believe it was. Last count, I think it was 5.
Quite.
You know. Now that's the last.
Have you built a bigger trophy case at your home there in Marietta?
Actually, you know what? It's funny with that, right? That you asked that because I got too many, right? So I've had to spread them out among, my siblings. They come down. They like to keep a little bit of piece of it too, So I've managed to spread it around, but because I had my halls got a little full, so the wife spread it out throughout the family. So somebody's got a little piece of Ron everywhere.
Speaking of your siblings. You were Lineman of the Year, All-State at Warner Robins, right. And we found your All-American picture. Remember where we found it?
Oh.
You didn't know where it was.
No, I did not.
And we walk into a gym in Detroit that your brother owned, and there hanging on the wall was your picture.
So you see what I mean by they got a piece of me everywhere, right? See, I didn't even know he had that one.
We walked in, and you go, there's my picture. I've been looking for this thing.
And he got busted. He didn't, he didn't plan it. He knew if I was coming, he would have taken it down, believe me.
If he didn't know we're coming, he'd take it down like Timmy White. Remember the friendly tap?
Oh, God.
We used to walk in there, and he had Andre the Giant pictures. He had all these old, great Arnie Scollin pictures. But when we'd walk in, he'd have us at the very front. Yeah. Timmy.
But he put it up.
That's not working.
Yes. He would put it up when he know we're coming, right?
You're fooling absolutely nobody.
But he loved us busting up his place.
I want to ask you about, start off with sports.
Right.
You had one of the greatest careers. Some say you're the greatest nose tackle of all time. But for certainly, you're in the College Football Hall of Fame. You're one of the greatest of all time, especially at nose tackle, one of the greatest college football players. I work with at-risk kids in Bermuda, as you know. A lot of kids, and they come from lower-income areas. They come from single-parent homes.
Right.
You had a very similar situation growing up. And the one thing you want these young people, boys or girls, to work toward is something. Right. Otherwise, they turn into a gang. They turn to influences that are bad.
Right.
What kept you from going the other direction?
I'm glad you asked that, man, because every chance that I get now, okay, and now that, the career's winding down, right, and I love to go and interact, and particularly, and don't take this the wrong way, but, we've got a problem now among a lot of young black men right now, okay? And see, I relate to that. I've been down that path. You understand me? I know what it is to come from nothing, as people like to put it, okay? So people always like to attribute, tragedies to saying that, hey, there's no way out of something that you're in. Well, let me tell you, anything that could happen to a young man as a tragedy, like we like to call it, a setback, it happened to me, okay?
Right.
At the tender age of 8, my mother passed away, okay? Later on, we moved in with my grandmother. She passed away, all right?
Right.
And the brief time that we were in with my father, man, you know, I was like 9 years old. We were all playing in the yard, you know, like kids, man. You know, my brothers and sisters and I, and they said, hey, you kids be good, I'll be right back. And I can
And that
see
was the last thing he said.
That was the last thing I remember him saying for 20 years, okay? I remember seeing a 65 Pontiac make a right. And still waiting on him, man. You know, waiting on him to bring something back from the store.
I can't think of anything more heartbreaking than the kid watching that 65 Pontiac turn right and not come back. Did you feel, say after a couple weeks, and you start thinking, this man's not coming back, did you feel deserted?
I still, you know what, it took me a long...
You have to be able to see that right now in your mind.
And to be honest with you, I'm telling you, you never get over something like that.
But didn't you hate him?
You know what, man? It was a numbness, you know, mixed with hatred, and then it was also something mixed with hate. You know what? It was the best thing for me was what you did, because it put a fire in my ass, man, that was unbelievable. Okay? So, listen, any hurdle that life can throw at you to set you back, I've been there. And the one thing that whenever I get the opportunity to speak with these young kids now, you know, when they all come to me and they say, listen, man, I just don't think I can do it. You know, it's deaf ears to me. You know, I can't accept that.
Right.
Because if you really want to do something and you really want to get out of the situation that you're in, you can find a way. And trust me, when I say find a way, I mean I found a way to get out of the circumstances that I was in. Okay?
And after he left, physically, what happened to you? You were staying, you went to stay with other family members?
Yes, we immediately moved in then, you know, with my grandmother, right? That was brief, you know. She's an elderly woman, man. You know, now she got to take in 7 kids, you know? Right. Everything, man, I attribute to, as far as the brief time that I was with her, you know, as far as mannerism, respect, and stuff, I went to her, you know. Fantastic lady, you know. And then, but I'm thankful, though, John, that as life went on after she passed, there were people placed at the right places for me, you know, when they recognized, you know, like my high school coach, you know, and people...
At Warner Robins.
Yes, at Warner Robins. And not just black people, but white people, people of all colors, you know what I'm saying, that recognize that, hey, this kid's got something, you know, let's help him, guide him in the right direction, be there for him, you know, to give him a chance, you know what I'm saying? But the work is going to be up to me. I've got to do the work. They're going to be there to ensure me that I'll have what I needed, you know, but I've got to do the work.
Did you see sports as your way out, or was it just inherent in you that, hey, I want to be part of sports, and to you it's just, I'm participating in sports, or did you actually see it, this is my way out?
I honed in on, John, when I say that I remember when it first hit me, just like I'm speaking to you now. I was a sophomore in high school, and something just hit me when it did. I said, hey, you know, this is the gift that I've been given, you know. This is my way to getting out of this situation that I'm in. Now, am I going to do the norm, you know, sit here, you know, soak in then saying, hey, everybody feels sorry for me because look at the poor little kid, his mother died, his father ran off and left him, or am I going to be a man now and stand on my own 2 feet and make something happen for me and take advantage of this gift that God has given me? And I had a great body, I was fast, strong, you know, and hey, I recognized that I was better at these things than a lot of people, man, you know, and so hey, I tapped in on it.
You ended up becoming Lineman of the Year in Georgia, one of the biggest recruits. Bobby Bowden says it was one of his biggest recruiting success, especially at the time, and gives you credit for the emergence of Florida State becoming that national power that ended up winning some national championships.
Coach Bowden, you know, I mean, he knew my background, okay?
Right.
And he always, you know, I can always tell he tried to tap in and be the father figure for me. you know, they used to joke about it and call him a saint, right? Well, it wasn't no joke to me, you know?
Right.
Yeah, he really was.
When
you
he
know?
talks about you, he's like he's talking about his favorite son, too.
Yeah,
In fairness, he feels the same way about you.
Yeah, great man, man.
And that Bobby Bowden, that's the reason that you went to Florida State.
Absolutely. And
Did you click with him right away? I mean, I guess he came to visit your house at Warner Robins.
Well, I got to tell you now how this went down, okay? You know I'm in Middle Georgia.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to Florida State.
All right. So you understand. So you understand where, okay.
Like a Texas kid going to Oklahoma.
Okay, I'm in Middle Georgia, right? Okay. Everybody's coming around my, my door, right? You know, all the red, black, the bulldog train.
And your neighbors have got to think he's going to Georgia.
Oh, it was already a done deal in their eyes, okay? They're like, Ron, so when you get up there with Vince, man, look, we're going to come see you every weekend, And if there's anything you need, man, all you got to do is just let us know. Now, you know me, I'm not saying anything, because I'm like, Jesus, they've already got me going to Georgia, right? But, I had, you get 6 visits, right? So I went to South Carolina, and I narrowed it down. I wasn't going to go anywhere up north, snow, ice, out of the question for me, okay? So I narrowed it down to the south. So I took all of my visits, right? I had a friend that I'd worked for at a starter and battery place there in Warner Robins, right? He had played for Bobby Bowden at a South Georgia college when Bobby Bowden first started.
Right.
So he asked me, said, do me a favor, reserve one of your visits to go to Florida State, okay? I said, I owe this man a great deal because he's giving me a job, in high school.
And where was it you're working?
I was at Franklin Battery in Warner Robins, And he said, just reserve one for me and just visit the school. He said, and I'm thinking Florida State.
They weren't good at the time.
No.
I mean, this isn't Florida State now.
Now, that's putting it very low. And
they were horrible.
Yes. And I'm thinking, man, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to go through this motion,
Right.
and get this over with.
Just give your buddy who gave you a job.
And I'm going to get this over
Get him off
right?
your back.
So I went down and being honest with you, telling you the truth, I'd gotten promised a lot of things, going into college. I'm a blue chip, okay?
Yeah, exactly. A true blue chip. You're the hottest recruit in the country at the time.
They had promised me
Everybody wants you.
They had promised me something, man. Listen to me. They were greasing my palm, okay?
Right.
All of this. This was going on.
Yeah.
All right, back then, okay? So, and of course I am a young man, right? You grease my palm. Thank you.
You're going to be without any money.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And I went down. And this
what was the best thing you got during that time? Just money?
No,
I don't want to ask schools because I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
No,
and I know you wouldn't say that.
No, I might have slid in, I never went without wheels.
There was a Trans Am at one point, but that was later.
And it just happened to have me painted on it. The bird was removed off of it.
It's the craziest story I've ever heard. You took a Trans Am, and you took the front bird off of it. For those who remember the old Trans Am, and you had your own picture painted on it. So when you're at Florida State, you're driving around a brand new Trans Am.
People should know it's me coming.
Your picture.
Yes.
Your picture's on the front.
And my picture replaced the bird.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
My picture replaced the bird on the Trans Am, and not only was my picture on there, my girlfriend's picture was down there too. Okay, on the hood of the car too.
What the hell?
And I might add.
How does that happen? I don't want to go to the debate. How does that happen? I mean, you say I like the car. Yeah. Paint my picture on it.
Yeah, I thought it. Well, this is how it really.
This is a true story, by the way. This is a legendary
true story. Okay, and I thought, well, you know what? Hey, I'm playing the best football of my life. Hell, I'm a Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm an All-American. You know what? I deserve something to let the people know that it's me. Okay? And what better way than let them know that it's me coming than to paint myself on the hood of my car?
You're driving around Florida State. Big man on campus.
Yes.
That takes it to a new level.
Huge man on campus. Okay?
I drive around a brand new Trans Am.
With my girl kneeling right by my side,
After Florida State, you went on to play a little with the Cleveland Browns, Canadian Football League, ended up in the USFL with Lex Luger, by the way.
Right.
With the Bandits.
Absolutely.
And you had Bandit ball.
Yeah.
And actually, at the time, the Tampa Bay Bandits were better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Was doing great.
Now, once you got out of pro football, what did you do at that time? Because you went and trained with Hiro Matsuda. Did that happen right away?
No. As a matter of fact, you're speaking of Lex, right? I had wanted to do voiceover work, radio, TV,
Right.
That's what I wanted to get into, right? And I'd taken a job as a counselor, youth counselor down at the detention center and Tampa.
Yeah.
Right? And Lex, it was just in the beginning stages, Florida Championship Wrestling, right?
Right.
And was doing great, man. And he came to me and he said, hey, man, listen, this thing is wide open for black athletes, you know, to get in right now. And Hiro Matsuda, and particularly right now, has been looking and wants to, you know, to try to find the right one. He's been looking, you know, I'm like, no, man, get away. I don't, and I've had enough of physical stuff at this point, right?
And so Hiro broke you in. Now, Hulk Hogan tells a famous story about Hiro breaking his leg. Was
that's no joke, man. It was no joke. You get asked this question all the time. What's the hardest, you know, football or wrestling, right? Training with Hiro Matsuda, I had rather go through 2 of these in football.
I came straight out of pro football to Brad Rankins of Minnesota, and I agree. I've never been through hell.
Oh, man, listen.
Like training.
Oh, man.
And I'm sure Brad trained like Hiro. He tried to kill me.
Brutal, okay? I was like, you know, I mean, the hack squats, the room temperature up, you know, to 125 degrees, right? And constantly.
And that's no joke.
No, this is real.
They treated people subhuman in those days because they wanted to run people off.
That's right. And he made you, as we were speaking of earlier, he wanted to know if you really wanted to do it.
And there's a big thing with that is, you know, there were a lot of fights and riots back then, and you wanted to know people were having your back.
That's right. And with Hiro Matsuda, you know, and being the only thing among the Japanese trainers and Japanese people in general, they wanted to know your loyalty, man.
That's right.
You know, he wanted to know if you really wanted to do it.
Now,
you know,
you got into Florida Championship Wrestling, you became champion, and then in 1988, you did whatever Babyface did. You teamed up with the Junkyard Dog and turned on him in 1989.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody did that.
Well,
Everybody was a babyface and then turned on Dog.
Yeah, if you really wanted to, hey,
if you wanted to make money,
you wanted to make
turned
money,
on Dog.
You had to be around to swat your dog, okay? Right, you know. Right.
How was Dog to work with?
You know what, man? I had never, and I'm going on now to
people don't realize now how big Dog was back then. Dog was huge.
Even then, I was absolutely amazed at the thought power that he had.
Were you always a sports entertainment fan? Did you watch it growing up, or did you just you fall into it afterwards?
No, I was huge in it. I watched it. I'd always watched it, man. You know, watch Dusty Flair, you know, Tony Atlas, you know, all of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. But I think what drew me to it, you know,
the old Georgia, probably the old Georgia championship.
Right. Tommy Rich, all of them. Right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. And I think one of the things that, you know, kind of drew me to it more than anything was that, you know, being physical, mean, you know, like, you know, big, you know, masculine man, you know, and I kind of, you know, and that was the attraction. First of all, you know, and then when that opportunity presented itself with Hiro, like with Hiro Matsuda, you know, and at first I bucked it, and then Lecture said, hey, go meet with him, you know, and so I went to meet with him, and the meeting went kind of like this, you know. He says, like, what are you making now? I said, Jesus.
You're a counselor at a juvenile detention
I said, do I have to tell you? You know? They said, well, what about if you come in and you make it? What if you come in now and I tell you can double your salary? I said, let me just get this straight. You're telling me if I come in here, all right, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm this hot-shot football player, you know, Ron Simmons, you know. I come in here, and I'm thinking, I can do this, you know, right? I can make double what I'm making now, and maybe more. He said, yes, you come in, right? Now, little did I know that he was going to kick me from one end of the state of Florida to the next.
That was very similar to when Vince first told me about the APA. For some reason, you weren't around at the time. Vince told me the idea, and I'm the one telling you. And your answer was, now let me get this right. We're going to drink beer on TV?
Yeah.
Act like protection. This is a business. Now we're going to make some money. What do you think? Look at it. Look at it.
Man, I think
Big P to the legs.
I think it looks great. And so is this, Jen.
Oh, man, shut up.
You said it's the greatest idea
I've ever heard. Okay. And still is. Okay. And still is.
You know what's funny? People ask us about that stupid door. And I don't know what Creative's idea was, but they had that door set up, and you were sitting there at the table one day waiting, and there some workers were around, and Ron, you said, it's perfect, just leave it like that. And they go, wait, it's just the door. And you go, yeah, leave it like that. And that was it.
But, you know, even now, okay, and I'm sure you get the same thing, you know, people still come up, you know, and it's like, man, that was the best thing ever.
Remember we made the Rock walk through the door?
Yeah, man, hey. But, you know, it got to a point with us, you know, it was serious.
How much money did you put in there?
Put in $100, man.
You sure you put $100?
I know I will. I know how much I put in.
You sure you put $100?
You hear something? I didn't hear a thing.
You know, you could have knocked on our door. You walked right through our wall.
Like the door right there, man.
That wall, that's our door. It's our office.
How about a knock? Face your office.
Yeah, like that.
You weren't raised in a barn? Get the door.
Watch the rock.
Oh, I'll beat the whole door, man.
What's up, man?
You know, it's funny because people always ask us, did we really drink beer on television? Was that stunt beer?
Yeah.
There was a time we were at the Staples Center. You remember, we're backstage, and we've been sitting back there forever. It's taking forever, so we're sitting back there drinking beer, just kind of killing time. And they come to us and say, you got to get this right this time. Because a lot of times we'd edit those in. Sometimes we do them live, but we're editing this one. And I said, why? I'm about to go live? They go, no, you're slurring your words.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. When you go back, when you're speaking of when Vince came to you with that idea, right? Now, he had to have known that, you know what, these two guys, you know, this is what they do all the time. Why not? Let's give them this gimmick.
You know what happened was, I think what happened, I've never asked Vince about it. We were in Baltimore. It's my birthday. And we're sitting back there just laughing and joking. And Vince came by and bought us a shot or something. And the next day was when he told me, he said, I want to put that on camera. I said, what? And he said, you and Ron just sitting around BSing drinking beer. I said, really? And that's when I told you. I said, and you said, he wants us to drink beer on camera?
Yeah, and this is great, okay?
Because that was us.
Well, yeah, but you got to understand now, here's the thing, that, you know, that also that I'm thinking too, right? When you came to me and told me, I'm like, well, wait, hold on a minute now. It's either that I could drink this beer, or he could come back to me and say something else about a helmet. I think I'm going to choose this beer, okay? He might want to go back to the helmet again. Let's drink the beer.
You walked in with that blue helmet. And I'll love you, but that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Stone Cold Steve Austin saw you walk by with that blue helmet, and he said, that's the only man that can walk in here, and nobody's going to say anything to you with that blue helmet.
You know, when I sat down with Vince, right, and he was, you know, we were going over, you know, the ideas, you know, for that, right? When he was going over these, you know, I see this gladiator type of idea in you, and I'm like, well, yeah, hey, I'm all with it.
You're always gladiator.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, pump, you know, the Roman thing, you know, the metal, the shield, you know, all of this, right? And then, now, here's an outline of what we've got here. You know, I'm looking at this as on paper, you know, and it looks great. Because I'm thinking it's going to be, you know, the real thing, you know. So he says, look, I want you to go with, you know, go over to the guy's house, you know, and they're going to get you measured for the, you know, the costume and everything, right? So I go over to the guy's place in New York, you know, they get measures for it. So I'm thinking I'm going to, you know, stand up, you know, and do the thing.
I remember that old place. I can't remember the city.
You know, I'm going to do the thing
downtown New York.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm going to do the thing like Yul Brynner, you know, like when he's Pharaoh, right? When he goes, you know, my armor, war crown, you know, this type of thing, right? So I see the guy comes out with this leather, you know, and he starts carving and cutting, you know. I say, you know, what's that? And he said, oh, this is what we're going to make you know, your helmet out of. What? A leather helmet? Are you kidding me? And we're going to paint it blue? You know, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'll never live this down.
Here is legitimately one of the toughest men on the planet in a blue helmet. And nobody would say anything to you. That really looks bad.
God,
I'm not going to say anything.
It was one of those gimmicks to where, hey, you know, it can make it, or you can break it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I chose to like, hey, let me step this game up a little bit, right, and take this to the next level.
And you deal the hand dealt to you.
That's right.
Speaking of stuff that's a little bit crazy, you and Butch, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, you guys were scary. I mean, you see these old pictures of you and Butch, you guys were scary. There were huge tag teams back then. I mean, massive tag teams back then. And I really think the South had a little bit different view of tag teams. You know, they were a little bit bigger. In the North, it was more of singles. They put you and Butch underneath mask. Who do you think you were fooling?
And like among the only 5 black men there.
And you're huge.
Okay, but you know what? People were still trying to act as if they were guessing that it was me and Butch. We know it's you, Ron. We know it's... No, it's not. You're wrong. I'm not. I'm Ranger Ross. Okay? But you know, hey, but guess what, man? Somehow it worked when we got into the thing with the Steiner brothers. You
defeated the Steiners?
Yeah.
Held the titles for a better part of a year. And
when they finally...
were incredibly over.
Yeah. And when they finally unmasked us, I mean, it went down as if, hey, they took the mask off the pope or something, you know. Hey, look, you know, no, it's Ron. Yeah, but hey, we had a lot of fun with it, man.
The biggest date of your sports entertainment career, August 2nd, 1992. Baltimore, Vader, you become the first black heavyweight champion.
He got him in a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got
to do your Hall of Fame induction speech.
Good job, man.
I was,
I watch it now.
Incredibly honored, and I was very excited. And then I started getting really nervous because I realized who I was inducting. This wasn't just my best friend. This was the first black heavyweight champion. To break a barrier, like a color barrier, you have to not just be good enough, you have to be better what's on the other side. You know, Jackie Robinson was chosen because he was that good.
That's right.
You know, they didn't choose Josh Gibson or Satchel Paige. Charlie Schiffer broke the barrier, and we have Tiger Woods. Jackie Robinson broke the barrier, and we have Barry Bonds. We have Hank Aaron.
Right.
After you came The Rock, Mark Henry, Booker T. I started realizing how important it was, and I became nervous. Did you realize at the time how important that day was?
I had no idea the effect, you know, that at that time that it was going to have. Now, you got to understand this, okay? You know, everyone, you know, I'm asked about it all the time, and I welcome it. You understand me? I welcome it because it's a day I'll relish, you know, until I die, man. You know, but I'm asked all the time, Ron, how did that go? And when I tell people, you know, this is for real. I had no idea this was going to happen like this. This was going to go down like that night. You understand? I walked into the building, okay, unaware.
Right.
Hey, and then
all
I'm
of a sudden
about to change. Absolutely.
in front of you.
That's right. I had no idea. Understanding that this was going to be a history-making night, okay? Not only for myself, but for this industry, you know?
Did you get feedback from the old guys like Ernie Ladd and guys like
all of them.
Like, hey, you know, to him you'd be a kid.
Yeah,
you know, hey kid, you did a great job.
All of them, man. You know,
they all reached out to you.
All of them, and you know, more than anything, though, here's the deal: that they, as time, you know, as it went on, they were more proud of that. How you carry yourself with it, you know, and as it settled in on
Jackie Robinson.
Right?
He carried himself remarkably
you know,
well.
how you carry yourself with it. Now,
That's right.
You know, after it settled in with me, okay, a couple of months or so, now I'm like, oh my God, man, this is not just a big deal for me. Okay, this is a huge deal right now for a lot of people, not just African Americans, man, for underprivileged kids of any color. You understand?
For everybody.
Yeah, that's right. You know that, hey, here's something that you can take and run with. All right, and I knew then that it was going to be important. So not only for me to carry myself, you know, I mean, in the ring, but it was going to be more importantly out of the ring.
Right.
You know, and I took a lot of pride in that. You know?
Nowadays, when you see people talk about race or stereotypes, does it upset you that the race card is still played, or you think it's appropriate? Because at times it looks like the race card is played in a self-serving way.
You know,
at times.
It's one of the things now that it gets under my skin more than anything, okay? And it's so disturbing to me because of course, you've got racial unrest, man, that's been in this country, and it is going to continue to be in this country. Sure. And that's unfortunate, okay?
Right.
But it's going to be here, man. And we, you know, you can't change everybody like that overnight, okay? I get furious, man, and it infuriates me when I see young kids that doesn't know any background of what the ancestry, what their forefathers and mothers did to want to earn the rights, you know, and the privileges that not only whites has, but any colors has in this world, and don't know the background of it. They just jump on this bandwagon, not what someone else saying, oh, I'm suppressed, I'm put down, you know, the white man won't let me do this, I'm held down. Well, no. Guess what the opportunity in this country is? If you're willing to get off your ass and help yourself first, okay, do something about what the situation that you're in and change your own world, that opportunity is presented to you. Okay, I get so tired of them going back to the same old thing. And even when I'm giving speeches and talking to kids, man, I can ask a kid, who is Martin Luther King? You know, some of them can't even answer me.
Right.
Some of them don't even know who Harriet Tubman is. You know, listen, if you want to make something happen, you have the opportunity, if you are of a sound body and mind, if you want to get something out of life, you have to get off your ass and make it happen. It's not just going to be given to you, you know, and it's not fair for anyone to walk up to someone and say, I deserve this just because I'm black.
And it almost in a way, and I don't want to overstate it or put words in your mouth, almost cheapens what you did.
It not only that, though, for me, it cheapens what the guys are coming from me. Yes.
What Junkyard
you know,
Dog
for what
did.
everyone has done.
That's right.
You understand me? You know,
yeah.
it sets it back.
it's been years since either one of us have been in a locker room. But that locker room, the last one we were in WWE, that is the most least. They don't care about race. They don't care about sexual orientation. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is, can you go out there and do you leave them on your feet?
That's all it should be. You know,
don't you feel the same way?
That's all it should be. That's all it's ever been with me that I know of. Because see, everything. Here's how this works with me. Okay, and I'm speaking from me. Okay, I can't speak for no one else, man. I can get up and look myself in the mirror every single morning, knowing that everything Ron Simmons has ever gotten, I worked for it.
Right.
Okay, you know.
And we were one of the first, I guess, interracial teams. You know, back in the day, you had Native Americans with Native Americans, you had blacks with blacks, you had cowboys with cowboys, and you had the Dudleys. Now, to be fair, they were not on a big platform like WCW or WWE, even though it was a good platform in ECW. But we were one of the first black and white tag teams. After that, you saw several trying to, realize that, it didn't matter if, putting blacks with blacks or whites with whites. But they tried to make a big deal out of it a couple times. And you stopped it.
Listen,
rightfully so, by the way.
It has no place in that. You understand? It's just like you said, okay? And particularly in this business.
Right.
It's business, man.
We were friends.
Yeah.
That's why we were tag team partners.
And
we rode together long before we ever became tag team partners.
That's one of the things right there, what you just hit on, man. That was the success, between us. That I can speak on that was that, hey, we were friends with each other before this would even develop.
That's why they put us together on camera.
Because our backgrounds were similar. We loved to be around each other, We understood each other, And that's the difference in it, A
couple things that people don't realize. That one rating we did of May 10th, 1999 is when we did an 8.1 rating. One of the highest quarter hours, that's right. I don't know if it's the highest non-overrun quarter hour, 8.6. It was me versus you.
Right.
And they stuck us against each other. And for the first time, we got to talk. Remember?
Right.
And I said, what do you want us to say?
Right.
They literally didn't care.
Right.
Russo didn't like us.
No.
And he said, I don't care. Just say whatever you want to say.
But here's the thing, right?
We were talking about beer drinking and fighting. That was...
At the height of what we were doing, of being a tag team, right? They were like, oh, my God, these guys are at the pinnacle here so much now. What else can we do with them, Who else right now is at that level, right? Let's just put them against each other.
That's right. And they're an 8.6, which is unheard of in television.
Oh, man.
In fact, Vince Russo tried to get me to talk without a Southern accent.
I remember that. His
quote was, how can anybody with a Southern accent not sound dumb?
Yeah, I'm like, is he for real? Did he just say that? Here's a guy that is sitting here telling me, okay, about my partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, it's one of those things like, hey, are you kidding me?
They told you, do the whole promo.
Yeah, I remember.
You walked out there, said a little bit, and handed me the microphone.
Y'all looking for a fight.
That was one of the greatest gestures that's ever happened in my career.
And if you're looking for a fight, dead man, then you and that 7-foot baboon just found one, because that's what we do best, son. We fight.
You walked out there on live TV and gave me the microphone, and there's nothing they could do about it.
Man, I don't want it back. No, you keep it.
And I did the promo.
Yeah, I know. You keep it. Okay?
And we came back, and because it was you, nobody said anything.
But guess what? They never gave us a problem after that.
Never gave us a problem after that. And after that, we both did promos. We both talked.
Right.
It was an equal thing.
That's right.
Something that you did for me.
How it should be.
That was really an honorable thing that you did.
How it should be, man.
A Nation of Domination, when you created the Nation of Domination, you had a lot of offshoots. You had Savio went to create Los Boricuas. Crush went on to create the DOA, the Cycles of Apocalypse, I guess it was. The Rock goes on. A lot of people don't realize, I guess, and The Rock's a good friend of ours, but a lot of the stuff he got was from you.
Yeah, well, I don't,
initially. Yeah, then he went on to become,
he did his own thing. I would always kid with the guys, back behind stage, and I'd say things like, hey, listen, when we get out there, you better know your role, okay? And hey, him being this stupid person that he was, hey,
he stole it.
Kenny, know your role and shut your mouth, because the people's champ is ready to talk.
Wait a minute. Did he just say? Did he just say shut up and know your and know your role? Yes, he did. Okay, right. And listen, he's knowing his role now. Okay?
He's knowing his role now.
Yeah, but no, man. You know, he was. You know, he was struggling there for a minute. You know, they tried to do the same.
Hardly.
They tried to do the same traditional thing with him. You know.
Yeah, and it came through the nation, and that's when he really found himself.
That's right.
And then he got into a feud with you.
Yeah, found his niche.
And that's when he really stepped up.
Yeah, he found him. You know, what works for him.
You know, a lot of people forget, 1997 King of the Ring, when Triple H became King of the Ring, you headlined it with Undertaker for the World Championship.
God, and loved every minute. That's one of the men that I have nothing but respect for, okay? I have nothing but the utmost respect for the Undertaker.
You've been in the ring with all the greats for 80s, 90s, 2000s. Was he the best you're in the ring with?
Listen, without a doubt. Okay, nothing but big ups for him.
Now, one guy you tried to help that didn't work was Ahmed Johnson, and he's had some negative things to say over the years. But you tried to help Ahmed.
My best,
and it didn't work.
And
you tried to make him money.
I tried my best. Okay, Vince McMahon tried his best. Me, being the man that I am, said, "Listen, man, this is what they want to do with you." Okay, all right. The man likes you. Hey, he sees nothing but promise in you, you know? Right. I want to do this for you. Then they said, well, listen, okay, let's put him in the nation, right? The first word comes out of his mouth, he wants to be the leader. You know, I mean, baby, don't want to crawl before you can walk, okay? Here's a problem right from the beginning.
And you told him one time, they're trying to give you money.
Yes.
And he just would not accept it.
Would not take it. Okay.
What was the problem?
You know, I don't know, man. If it's just coming from a thing he's trying to blame on. Once again, let's go back to equating himself with being held down, wanting to make as much as everyone else, and just saying, listen to me. Here's my opportunity to prove that I'm just as good as everyone, man, you know?
Right.
Here's that opportunity, you know? When it presents yourself, that's your time. You know, everything that he's worked for was right there. You know? That was the time to jump on that now and say, hey, here, I got the ball.
Right.
You know, let me run with it.
You look back now, and you have the benefit of hindsight, when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to look at something from the outside. You're right in the middle of it. Like when you won the title from Vader. You know, it's hard for you to realize that you're making history.
Right.
When you look back now and you look back and go, I can't believe I did all that.
Yeah. I honestly say to myself, you know, quite a bit, man. I've done quite a few things, man, you know, and I'm really proud of it, you know. And when I look back at all of it, though, John, you know, from the beginning, you know, from where it started from, a dream, a goal, man, you know, that I had. And I went on. I've had some level of success in just about everything that I've set out to do. I couldn't ask for more than that, man.
You've done really well in the ring, outside the ring. You've done well with real estate. You work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Atlanta. You've had a very successful career. When you look back, you kind of wish that, you know what, my grandma would have been proud.
I know, man, that she's looked down and seen and know and said, hey, that I am absolutely proud of you, you know. And I'm not going to kid you and lie to you. There's been so many times and so many days over the years that even when I was going through some of the things I were playing college football, right, going through some of the things you and I have gone through, right, that I wished I'd had mother, father, someone there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, just to say, hey, you know, hey, this is me.
People around her in heaven got to be tired of it. Say, okay, look, I know that's your grandson. Quit telling us.
I'm sure she's boasting, though, you know.
She's got to be boasting.
Yeah, I'm
she's got to be very,
man.
very proud.
Right, yeah, but I got her to think she gave me a good enough foundation up under me for when things did happen to me as they did, that I had a little bit in me, you know, common sense, respect for others, you know, elders, you know, mannerisms, you know, yes or no, sir, these things, you know, that you can build off of, you know, and I've carried them with me, you know, so I'm really grateful.
You've got a lot of real estate. You still do a lot of appearances. What occupies your time nowadays?
You know what? To be real, I'm catching up, man. Well, grandkids.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, man. You know, grandkids now, bro. You know, life
From your boy that was in the military.
Yes. Right.
That's right.
Life now. You understand? You know, after so much me, you know, I get to now, it's life. You know what I mean? I'm embracing it.
You happy?
Yeah, couldn't be more, very much.
When people look at Ron Simmons and they look at the totality, because there's so much to look at, from your upbringing to your football to your sports entertainment to breaking the color barrier, what's the one thing or things you want people to remember your legacy of?
You know what? Of all of the things, and this is the honest truth, all of the things that I've accomplished, you know, I mean, awards that I've gotten, right? I want to be remembered as a great father, husband, and a good human being, okay? More than anything. That's really important to me because like I spoke of early on when we were talking, it's a scar on you, man, when you watch your father do what mine did, you know? Yeah. And it's something that clicks in you, man, and say, I don't want that to happen. It stays with you, you know? And you want these things to make you a better person in all different respects, you know? Right. And I just want, I would like for people to know that I've always been myself. I've always been, you know, a kind person, but I've always been respectful and I've been honest about everything.
You said at my wedding, at the best man speech, that the best man, this isn't a singular event, that you're my best friend the rest of life, and I've never had a greater honor, and I've never had a bigger break getting to tag with you, because I got to learn not only how to be a sports entertainer, I think you made me a world champion, but also how to be a man. Yeah. And for that, I owe you a debt I can't pay.
No, I owe you, because see, when you go through certain things like I did, you understand, you get a more profound respect for life and the little things that life has to offer, and you should embrace them. See, when those things happened to me, I didn't have the opportunity to be around my brothers, you know?
Right.
I didn't know what that was like, man.
Yeah.
To watch them, you know, to come up with them, you know, to play in the yard, you know what I'm saying? Throw the football with, you know, to talk about girls, all these things.
Right.
You gave me that, man. I owe a great deal of that to you, you know, that I can never repay to you, man. Those years that everything came full circle for me, you know, when that happened with us. No?
APA may be come and gone. We're not.
No, always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much. I love you, boy.
Thank you. Same here, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
This season on Legends with JBL, you had a backstage altercation with Batista.
If I would have got fired, it would have been worth it. I don't think he OD'd.
You think somebody killed Gino Hernandez?
Your words, not mine. I just felt like a kid that had no light at the end of the tunnel.
What'd you think of him as far as creative?
I knew we might have been in trouble.
It sounds like, Jimmy, you're dancing around the answer about Vince Russo. What were your thoughts when you heard that tape of